welcome back to Giro3 YouTube channel. Today we are working on and rebuilding and upgrading a Emotator 502. So basically I had the casings glass be blasted. The inside wasn't done on this, and this one had like a coating on the inside. It was in good condition, wasn't flaking, so I've left it. The outside was glass bead blasted and etch primed and painted in this Emotator colour, Emotator finish, silver. The same thing applies. I did the whole inside. I had the whole inside and outside glass bead blasted. The inside was resealed in a clear, and the outside was painted in Emotator silver. The bottom didn't need to be done. Bearing track didn't need to be done. So this is going to be. It was glass bead blasted and painted as well. I'll put those back over there. Back over there. Rightio. The mast clamps are these triple clamping versions. So as you adjust them, they will self-center and grab the mast. So as you can see, they were glass bead blasted and painted in the Emotator as well. Put them back over there. The mounting hardware, what I do is, these are the clamping bolts for these ones. You might notice a bit of a matte colour as opposed to a brand new one. There's a brand new one right there. There's a stainless steel. I actually soaked them in a solution for quite a while, probably a month or something, and I don't have to do anything with it, just shake it up every now and again, and basically it takes all the electrolysis and gunk and garbage off, and you want it with a slightly matte finish, but that's all good. It looks different. So the clamping bolts, mounting bolts, washers and spring washers are all been done, and so are these 1.5 nuts. These are actually a long nut which has been cut in half, and that's what they use. So they just slice it through the middle. That's so you can get in close. You can't use a normal nut on these because this area here hits the actual hit a normal nut, so you've got to use a slightly higher nut to get into those. So that's why they use that version of nut. We have a really good condition for this age rotator terminal cover. Well, terminal cover, it's actually a plug. Yeah, it's a male plug that's got a little mounting bracket that mounts. I didn't turn it around far enough. That mounts on these little screws here, and it pokes out, and then you put a female socket onto it, and they've got to be tornadoed up inside of that. So that's that one. So we have a good one of those, and it's bolts. We have all the gears here. So the gears are all in good condition, as you can see. So yeah, and we have the mounting, the spacers here, and all the gears there for those ones. We have the motor start capacitor, since it's 100 volt. This is one of the mods I do to these. It has a little mounting bracket on it, and I just rewire it in a different position. And I also mount it. This gets mounted up under here, like that. It's just mounted there like that. And the way it's wired, it makes it easier to disassemble everything. Instead of wiring everything directly to the limit switches, which are not here at the present moment. They are not here. I'm actually, the bracket has been painted. Okay, that's why I haven't got them here. So we have the gear chassis. Now the gear chassis has been updated. I probably told you this before a million times with these. Since they're getting so old now, the shafts normally spin in these, and they wear the aluminium out, and the thrust and everything wears it out. So I do some trickery to the base of the step, and then I press these two back in again, and I line them up. I just put the top on, I press it down through it, so it's all nice in line. The one that has the drive gear, which is that final drive gear, sits on there with that spacer, which I on the mod I do put a little spacer under that, so it's not sitting on an angle. So that goes there like that. I'm going to turn some extra light on so I've got to do it. There we go. More light is better. So that drive gear one normally has this little short stumpy. It's got like not even a 10mm step in it. It gets really badly thrust in here because it's the final drive gear. So what I do is I have a few of these shafts and I actually get on my little baby lathe, I cut a new step in it and press it all the way through. I make it just the right size, just a bit larger, and I press it in, so basically it's a solid fixture and it's not going to start wobbling around and wear this out anymore, so it's fixed in there. And when I put them, I put a Loctite glue on these as I'm pressing them in. Just before I press them in, I put a glue on. That's a bit of a shiny stuff you see there. So they're glued as well as done that way. So yeah, so that gets rid of that little thing, and basically I'll do that. So the little mod I do is I do this little mod here. This is a little, where is he go? Where are we? Over here. That goes in here. I'll just take the screw out for now. This sits on here above the first drive gear and basically keeps all the weight of all the other gears, which is including that one is quite heavy. So it keeps that off the drive gear, so you're not putting the motor under any load. So this is what they normally do for the 1102, 1103 rotators. Is what they do with those, and I continue to use this. And I just make it up. It's just a bit of steel or a bit of anything you can get a hold of. Round the ends a little bit, so it's got a curve, and I roll the back of this, so it steps down over the back of this and makes it harder for it to spin and turn and all sorts of stuff and carry on. So that's another little mod I do here with these. What else have I done here? That one, and I put that on. I put the motorcycle capacitor on, so we're done there. So that's all in good condition there. We have a little cover for the top of the drive gear. I didn't clean the back of that up. Sack me, geez, I'll have to check that out later. And basically that's a little cover for the top, which we technically don't need anymore. It just stops the shafts from popping out. We don't really need it anymore because the shafts are fixed. We have this is the actual, that goes like that. This is actually for the limit switch activation. So that's all in good condition. All the screws and bits and pieces for that stuff is there. We have a re-zinc plated top chassis plate that sort of goes on top of here. In the right order. That goes on there. Nice big steel plate. So that's actually a re-zinc plated one. So the actual pot drive gear goes in there, which is a lot better now too, because it adds a bit of material to that. It makes it a bit tighter because they normally start flopping around a bit. So that's a good thing. We have over here the pot drive gear, which is in good condition. Have the pinion gear on the motor, BK brake hub, brake drum, I'll show the brake spring and brake hub, and BK butterfly, all in good condition. So appropriate screws. This one these screws here lock down that sub chassis to the inside. We have a 100-volt motor, which is in really good condition for its age. What only thing I did is I put a re-zinc plated top on motor mount on it. So that's the only thing I've ever done to that. The rest of it is in really good condition. We have the limit ring. It just spins around and hits the limit bar, and we have a lower mounting rubber. So that's roughly what's going on here. I'll be rebuilding this and taking a bit of a run through this and up to the stage of where I get it running, and then this one's going with the controller that you would have seen in the previous video, which is a CXX controller. That's one of the older style ones. The reverse versions this one come out with. Yeah, so there we go. So up to the stage, we shall catch you in the second part of this, and we shall be back. Okay, righto, we're back. I have installed the BK brake, the butterfly, and the BK spring, and so that's all been greased and ready and raring to go and been aligned. I've got to get this all in the middle and everything, so that's all been aligned. So we can put that back over here for now. I've just broken out some brand new limit switches for that, and I have just finished refurbing the pot. This one was in really good condition inside. So basically we have a V600k ohm, I should say, pot. So that's been refurbished and refurbished. So another thing I've done too, I have painted I've only missed this, I forgot about it. So that's the limit switch mounting bracket. That's for the limit switches to mount onto. I decided to paint it. This side was a little bit rusty where the previous limit switches were. This side was actually in really good condition, but one of the switches obviously must have got moisture, and presto, had to clean it up, and a bit of anti-rust undercoat and some just a silver colour paint. So that's where we're up to. Oh, and I found the female socket that goes inside the actual thing there, so inside the cover. So we are moving forward. So let's see. We shall meet. I'm going to now do the gears and the motor and get it all happening, and I'll be back. We're back. Righto, we have got the motor in, motor start capacitor. I've got the little terminal board in, and I've done a pre-wiring part of it, and the first gear is in. I've aligned everything. I've got the little support in, and basically first gear is greased up, and so is the pinion gear. So there we go. We will be back. Okay. All the gears bar the last gear are in and greased. I can actually drop the top on now, the actual top chassis. I can do the pre-wiring and limit switches and all sorts of stuff. Because I have to lift it back off to put that gear in because the actual lock ring has to go in once it's in the chassis. But not a problem. We're all moving forward. Right. Okay. I have now got the wiring all done. Plug is on. Plug socket, whatever you want to call it. And everything is cable tied in position. And I've got everything. The limit switches are working. Hear them going clickety click click. They're all good. Pot's all wide, and I've left enough slack in here so pot can be moved around if need be. It's all about trying to work on things. So basically now it has to get dropped in, and I'll go to put the screws into the housing here, and basically I can then start the alignment process and whatnot. So I shall be back. Another little quick update. I now have the I suppose you can call it a limit ring, I suppose you can call it. It actually activates the limit switch, well the actual, it's end stops as in stop stop stop, and also it gets the top housing with the knock block up in there, that top block up in the top there. So basically, yeah, it's a limit ring, I suppose you can call it, and the gear had to go in after. So basically we're moving forward. I can actually now do some testing with the controller. The plug's in as a plug, that's what you call a plug, chassis plug. I'll do some testing and then I'll be back. Okay, another quick update. I have now installed the ball bearings. Everything was pre-greased, the tracks were pre-greased, the bearings were pre-greased. So that is all done. And I'm going to try, I did say try, put the top housing on because I have pre-greased it, pre-greased the gears, everything has got grease in it. I've got my potentiometer arm right over the blue mark, which is north. I'm going to try and turn this to the side here, and I'm going to try and put this on. And then, oh actually another thing I did too, I put anti-seize into all the bolt holes as well. That's another thing I do. So let's try and stick this on here. Line up the gear. Which doesn't want to line up. There we go. I'm going to get down there. There we go. Rightio, now I shall go and put the bottom bearing ring on and all that sort of stuff, and put the bottom set of bearings in and stuff. So I shall be back. Getting close now. Rightio, I have now got the bottom set of bearings in, they're all greased up, tracks are greased, and I am going to attempt to, again, I've actually pre-greased the bottom bearing track as well, and I've also put anti-seize in the actual the holes here, just to make sure that we don't get any electrolysis coming through with these stainless steel bolts that I'll be using. So we slide it on there like that. A bit of a wiggle, and we are ready for the bolts. That's the next thing I'm going to do. I just realised the bolts aren't over here, so I better go get some. I shall be back. Okay, we're done. Everything is on. Labelling is done. I've put the sealing ring on, or the sealing gasket on. I've used button head screws. They're Phillips, not Phillips, start again, hex screws, and labelling, with some labelling on there as well, and we're labelling on the bottom as well. This carpet thing is molting a bit. Okay, we're going to take a bit of a quick run. I've got my little patch lead already into the controller. You saw the controller in the previous video, well hopefully you did. That is it right there. So we're going to take this for a quick run, and might actually move this a bit closer because it's a bit far away by most of things. Okay, let's see if that's a bit better. Yeah, okay. Right, we'll turn him on. Probably can't see the LEDs, but we'll look up inside there. I'll probably see it. It's actually illuminated. Being black, you don't see it, but at night time it'll be quite bright actually. So, okay, reach around over here. We'll take him around to the left. Whoops, that's a bit too close. And these 502s are fairly quiet too as well. So there we are, we're at west. What's up there? There's just a simple on-off switch. There's a bezel in here. It illuminates when you press the actual direction switch. And the limit switches will take over when it gets to south. You have about 5-ish degrees over south. So there we are, we're at south now. We'll come back the other way. I think it's about 65 seconds rotation time, I think it is, roughly. All I've got to do now is just write up a bit of a manual, because there's been some changes with the LED lighting in this and bits and pieces. So I'll write up a new, an amended manual, and we shall have this thing up for sale quite soon. So yes, you've seen all the brackets and bits and pieces. So we're coming back to north now. And it's aligned pretty well. It's pretty well smack bang on north when it passes it. Coming around to east, and we'll do a quick stop at east. Now, as you can probably hear, if I'd stop talking for a second, the motor is very quiet on these. So here we go. Southeast. Back around the south again, and plus a little bit of overlap, and we'll stop automatically. Okay, we'll take it back to north, and this rotator is now done, and I can actually get it all finished off and get it ready for sale. So we'll take it back to north, and that will be then 1.5 rotations to show you this thing working. So just past east. And coming back to north, and I'll even lay it over. I've got a bit of a mark there on the actual rubber seal. Bang, there we are, and we're smack bang on north. Righty, okay, turn him off. We shall catch you next video.